So imagine launching like a 1-ton metal box into the air at over 100 miles an hour.
Oh man, yeah, that is terrifying.
Right, and knowing that when you land, just the split-second delay in your engine could, spin you directly into a concrete wall.
Exactly. It's totally unforgiving.
Yeah, so today we are attempting to tame a one-of-one 1987 unicorn. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are taking you into the dirt to explore this ultimate pairing of a historic machine and a really brutal environment.
I am so excited.
Same here.
Yeah.
So for this GT7 car introduction, we are grabbing the keys to the Audi Sport quattro S1 Pikes Peak 87, and we are unleashing it on Gran Turismo's original dirt course, which is Sardegna Windmills.
Honestly, just putting those two specific names in the same sentence feels like a hazard warning.
Yeah, it really does.
Because, if you want to understand what absolute unhinged motorsport engineering looks like, you just have to look at the baseline specs of this Audi.
Lay it on us.
So we are talking about a dedicated four-wheel drive machine packing a 20,110cc engine. Now, the displacement itself might not sound, earth-shattering.
Right.
But it pushes out a staggering 588 brake horsepower at 8,000 RPM.
Wait, hold on. Look, almost 600 horsepower is like modern supercar territory.
Oh, absolutely.
But modern supercars weigh a ton, well, literally, heavily, right? Sometimes creeping up on 2 tons.
Yeah.
And they have all these traction control computers doing millions of calculations a second just to keep you facing forward.
Exactly. They have massive safety nets.
But this Audi, it weighs exactly 1,000 kilograms, right?
Yep, just 1,000.
It's significantly lighter than a modern compact grocery getter, but with 4 times the power distributed to all 4 wheels and 0 modern safety.
None. It is a raw mechanical rocket ship. And, what makes it so fascinating in the context of Gran Turismo 7 is just its sheer exclusivity.
Oh yeah, you can't just buy this anywhere.
No, you cannot walk into the game standard dealership and pick this up. It's categorized as a legend car for a reason.
Right.
This wasn't a showroom model that enthusiasts could buy in the 80s. It was a dedicated works machine built specifically for one single race event in 1987.
Which means if you want it in your GT7 garage, you are going to be grinding for it.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, it rotates through the Legend Cars Pavilion, and it'll set you back a massive 1.7 to 2.3 million in-game credits, depending on the dynamic price.
It is not a cheap investment.
So our mission today is to figure out if that investment is actually worth it for you. We need to understand the underlying mechanics of this historically overpowered hill climb beast.
And how to survive driving it.
Yes, exactly. More importantly, how you can possibly survive launching it off massive dirt jumps in the Italian countryside without completely destroying it.
Well, surviving those jumps requires understanding the extreme visual design of the car first.
Because it looks insane.
It really does. When you look at the Audi Sport Quattro S1 Pikes Peak, it looks more like a snowplow merged with a fighter jet than an actual car.
That is the perfect way to describe it.
Right. It features these oversized, highly aggressive aerodynamic parts protruding from every single angle.
Yeah.
It's got this massive front spoiler and just a gigantic rear wing.
Right, and to understand why they built it like some kind of sci-fi prop, we have to look back at the 1987 Pikes Peak International Hill Climb.
Oh, the legendary race.
Yeah, because since 1981, Audi had been absolutely dismantling the competition in the World Rally Championship with their full-time quattro 4-wheel drive system. They did. They essentially proved overnight that pushing power to all 4 wheels was the undisputed future of rally racing. But Pikes Peak isn't a traditional rally stage.
No, not at all.
It's this treacherous, twisting sprint straight up a mountain in Colorado. So they took that WRC dominating system and just pushed it to its absolute physical limits for this one specific event.
Yeah, they engineered it with maximum ground effect aero. The legendary German driver Walter Röhrl piloted this exact one-of-a-kind chassis up that mountain and completely shattered the course record.
10 minutes and 47.85 seconds.
Exactly. And that aggressive aero package was entirely responsible for keeping the car glued to the mountain.
Okay, but wait, I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I imagine that giant front snowplow of a wing creates a massive wall of drag on a straightaway, right? Like, it seems like it would hit an aerodynamic brick wall.
Oh, it totally does.
Because if the wings are catching all that air to push the car down into the dirt, they have to act like a giant parachute when you actually just want to go fast.
That is the fundamental trade-off in all of motorsport engineering right there. It's aerodynamic drag versus mechanical grip.
Okay, so how bad is the drag?
Well, on a long, high-speed straight, on a paved circuit, like, say, Le Mans, Monza, this specific Audi would struggle immensely.
Because of the parachute effect.
Right. Those massive wings would generate so much drag that it would severely limit its ultimate top speed. The engine would essentially be fighting the very air it's trying to cut through.
But Pikes Peak in 1987 wasn't a paved highway.
No, it was dirt.
Yeah, it was a winding, slippery dirt and gravel road scaling a cliff face. And on loose dirt, top speed doesn't matter nearly as much as traction. You simply cannot carry 200 miles per hour through gravel hairpin.
Exactly. Because of that drag, it sacrifices top-end speed on the straights to completely weaponize its grip in the corners.
Weaponized grip, I like that.
Yeah. The sheer downforce presses the chassis so hard into the earth that the quattro system can actually bite into the loose dirt. Where other cars would just, spin their tires aimlessly on the gravel, this Audi hooks up and launches out of corners with unbelievable acceleration.
Okay, so it's trading terminal velocity for raw, cornering violence on a slippery surface.
Precisely.
But mastering that aerodynamic profile is only like half the battle here, because the power plant delivering that violence is incredibly unique.
Oh, the engine is a masterpiece.
It features an old-school, inline, 5-cylinder turbo engine.
It is an acoustic and mechanical marvel, honestly. The engine produces this highly distinct, deep, yet high-pitched exhaust note.
It sounds so angry.
It does. It's this wailing, angry sound that is entirely unique to the Audi Inline 5 configuration. But the power delivery of this specific engine is incredible.
Okay, wait, let's pause there for a second. Let's talk about the extreme consequences of that Peaky delivery. Because for a beginner, what does Peaky actually mean in this context?
Right, so we're talking about a modern, smooth torque curve where you press the accelerator and the car just glides forward predictably.
Like in a normal car today.
Exactly. With 1987 turbo technology, you step on the gas, and for a terrifying second, you get absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. The engine is literally waiting for exhaust gases to build up pressure and physically spin the turbocharger turbine.
Ah, the dreaded turbo lag.
Yes, turbo lag. And when that massive turbo finally spools up, it doesn't give you power gradually.
Oh, boy.
All 588 horsepower hits the drivetrain in one violent explosive surge. It peaks instantly. Now imagine dealing with that kind of power delivery on a loose dirt surface.
It's like pulling back a heavy slingshot while standing on a patch of ice.
That is a brilliant way to put it.
Right. The release is so violent that if you aren't prepared for it, you're going down. So if you are mid-corner and you have the steering wheel cranked to negotiate a turn and suddenly that turbo spools up.
It dumps 600 horsepower into the gravel all at once.
Yeah, and the rear tires violently break traction trying to overtake the front of the car, which means you get oversteer, right?
Exactly. It initiates terminal oversteer. You cannot just casually mash the throttle in this car. I mean, you have to physically wrestle it.
So you have to be ready for the kick.
You do. You have to anticipate the exact microsecond the turbo is going to spool and preemptively steer into the slide to manage that massive shockwave of power on the dirt.
Wow. Okay, so we have a vehicle that generates terrifying drag on pavement that bites like a chainsaw on dirt. And it's powered by this Peaky engine that requires constant violent wrangling.
It's a handful.
It really is. So to actually weaponize that grip and test those physics in the game, we need a track with loose surfaces, high-speed sections, and punishing elevation changes.
We need a crucible.
Exactly. Which brings us perfectly to the stage where you'll be driving it in GT7, which is Sardegna Windmills.
Oh, Sardinia. This track is amazing.
It really is. It's an original Gran Turismo dirt course, first introduced back in GT Sport, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
It is 3.310 kilometers of relentless dirt track set on the gorgeous Mediterranean resort island of Sardinia, Italy. And true to its name, the landscape is dominated by these massive, towering wind turbines.
The juxtaposition is just amazing.
Right, because you have this gorgeous, serene Italian resort scenery.
But the actual topography of the track is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it's not a relaxed drive.
Not at all. It is defined by continuous, aggressive undulations and terrifying big jump spots. This is a course that demands absolute precision in 3 dimensions, not just 2.
Okay, 3 dimensions.
Yeah, because navigating this track at speed requires a masterful understanding of weight transfer, especially when you were setting up for those jump spots.
Okay, let's clarify those terms for everyone. Weight transfer and clipping points. How do those actually work together when you're hurtling towards a huge jump?
Sure. So, because this Audi is so front-heavy, I mean, with that inline 5 engine hanging way out over the front axle, if you botch your weight transfer before a jump at Sardinia, you aren't just going to run a little line.
You're gonna crash.
Yeah, that heavy nose is going to dive straight into the dirt upon landing. You have to manage the car's mass perfectly.
How do you do that?
Well, when you tap the brakes, the weight violently shifts forward. That compresses the front suspension and drives those front tires down into the mud for steering grip.
Oh, I see.
And then, when you accelerate, the weight shifts back, giving the rear tires the traction they need to actually propel you forward.
Okay, so if you don't manage that transfer perfectly, you will miss your clipping point, right?
Exactly.
And on a flat, paved racetrack, if you miss the clipping point, which is the exact inner apex of a corner, you might just lose 1/10 of a second and run a bit wide on the rumble strips.
It's no big deal on pavement.
Right. But on Sardegna, because the course is so incredibly undulating, missing the clipping point has catastrophic consequences.
You end up hitting a bump or an incline at the completely wrong angle.
Yeah, and it throws the car's weight off balance just a fraction of a second before you launch into a massive jump. It's literally like a roller coaster with no rails.
That's exactly what it feels like.
And the tuning mechanics in GT7 make this so apparent, right? If you take a track-tuned suspension, something stiff and rigid that's meant for like the Nürburgring, and you try to run it on Sardinia, the car simply rejects the terrain.
Oh, it's undrivable.
It can't absorb the landing at all. It bounces off the dirt and sends you straight into the outer wall. So you need extremely supple, dirt-specific tuning.
Suspension needs to compress evenly.
Right, to absorb the shock of the landing and keep all 4 wheels in contact with the ground for as long as possible so you actually have steering input.
Yeah, the environment tests your tuning just as much as your reflexes. And, you know, the dynamic elements of GT7 take it even further.
Oh, right, the weather and time.
Yeah, thanks to the dynamic time and weather system, you can find yourself racing this brutal track in the dead of night. The ambient lighting completely vanishes.
Which means you are wrestling 600 Peaky horsepower on a dirt roller coaster using nothing but the Audi's aggressive rally headlights to spot the upcoming jumps.
It's terrifying.
It really transforms from a scenic race into a grueling survival horror experience.
It totally does. The visual deprivation makes you rely entirely on the mechanical feedback of the car. And the track throws another massive curveball at you if you drive the reverse layout.
Oh, the reverse layout is wild.
Yeah, because of how the natural hills and undulations are shaped, driving the track backwards completely alters the physical geometry of your approach angles.
Right, so a hill that acts as this terrifying launch you into orbit jump in the normal direction suddenly becomes like a mild, easy compression bump when you drive over it from the other side.
Exactly. You essentially have to unlearn the entire track map.
And relearn the physics of every single crest.
Yeah. So when you bring these 2 elements together, the Audi Sport Quattro S1 and the Windmills of Sardinia, you just get pure, unadulterated synergy.
It's a match made in heaven.
It is a machine built for maximum grip on a mountain, meeting a track designed to continuously launch you off the earth.
It is the ultimate playground for this specific car.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 588 horsepower and an advanced 4-wheel drive system literally tearing up the dirt just to clear these continuous jumps.
The Audi devours the undulations because it was bred for uneven, loose terrain.
But the jumps introduce the ultimate driving challenge, don't they? Because of the terrifying physics of being airborne.
Yeah.
The moment all 4 tires leave the dirt, you have absolutely zero control of the car.
Nothing. You cannot steer midair. You cannot brake midair.
Right.
The aerodynamic downforce cannot help you if the tires aren't actually touching the ground.
Wow, okay. Meaning every single input that dictates your survival has to happen before you leave the ground. You have to angle the car perfectly while managing the weight transfer while hitting the clipping point so that as you launch, your trajectory is already aiming exactly where the track is going to be when you finally land.
And setting up that pre-jump posture is incredibly difficult. And when you factor in the engine's Peaky turbo delivery that we talked about, it becomes this high-stakes balancing act. Think about the gyro effect of the wheels while you are airborne.
Okay, yeah.
If you land with your foot completely off the gas, the engine RPMs drop, the turbo loses its spool, and the car just bogs down completely upon landing, bleeding all your momentum.
But if you panic and keep your foot completely mashed to the floor while you're in the air, that Peaky 5-cylinder turbo is going to spool up to maximum boost mid-flight, right?
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Because the absolute microsecond your tires reconnect with the dirt, the engine is going to violently dump all 588 horsepower into the ground.
Yep, and you will suffer massive, instantaneous oversteer and spin straight into the barricades.
So what's the trick?
You have to feather the throttle while you are flying through the air.
Feather it midair.
Yeah. You must keep the engine RPMs hovering in that perfect sweet spot, just high enough to keep the exhaust gases spinning the turbo, but not so high that the tires are spinning wildly out of control when they bite back into the earth.
That requires incredible pedal discipline.
It really does. It takes a lot of practice.
Man, I want you to picture the replay of this in the game for a second. Just visualize it. You have this ultra-wide, visually absurd Audi S1 covered in these massive, aggressive aero parts.
It looks so cool.
It is executing these sweeping four-wheel drifts around tight dirt hairpins, kicking up massive, billowing clouds of brown dust. And in the background, you have the serene, towering Italian windmills slowly turning against a Mediterranean sky.
It's beautiful.
And cutting through that entire scene is the screaming, offbeat, high-pitched wail of that 5-cylinder engine as the car launches 15 feet into the air.
It is a cinematic masterpiece rendered in real time. I mean, you have the brute analog force of 1980s Group B era rally engineering violently colliding with the precision of modern physics rendering.
It's just an incredibly rich experience.
Truly.
So to wrap this up, mastering the specific combination in GT7, the Audi Sport quattro S1 on Sardegna Windmills, is not just about holding down the accelerator and hoping for the best.
Definitely not.
It's about taming a piece of motorsport history. It's about fundamentally understanding how turbo lag, aerodynamic drag, and weight transfer all interact in a beautiful, unforgiving landscape.
You know, before we sign off, there's a final mechanical puzzle to consider with this pairing.
Oh, what's that?
Well, think about the core engineering of this Audi. It was designed specifically as a hill climb car for Pikes Peak.
Right, a mountain where the only direction's up.
Exactly. Its suspension geometry, its aerodynamic profile, its entire physics model was originally designed almost exclusively to travel upward, right? Fighting against gravity to push the car into an ascending slope.
Okay.
So what kind of bizarre stress does it put on a 1987 chassis when you take a vehicle engineered for continuous ascents and you repeatedly slam it down from massive gravitational drops on a modern rally course?
Oh, wow. You are taking a dedicated climber and forcing it to become a jumper.
Exactly.
It's a massive suspension paradox. It's experiencing impact forces it was never theoretically designed to handle.
It is a paradox that challenges you to boot up the game, hit the dirt, and see if you can actually tune a legendary climber to survive gravity's revenge on the way down.
That is the perfect challenge to leave you with. Thank you for riding along with us today on this deep dive into GT7's ultimate matchmaking experiment. Keep your tires in the dirt, keep feathering that turbo, and we will see you on the next deep dive.